So, a couple of things before I get into the actual podcast. First of all, pollen count is insane right now. My allergies are going nuts. My face looks really red. It's because I've had to go in there and rinse it off 12 times. It's still itchy as fuck. I also feel really dry and lizardy, and no amount of showering and moisturizing has helped. I have the door open because my cats insisted upon it. The neighborhood children are out playing, even though it's 2 o'clock on a Monday. I don't even think it's that late. I don't even think it's 2 o'clock. But it's Monday. No, it's Sunday. We film on Sundays, so it's Sunday, and that's why the kids are out. Anyway, so yeah, allergies, children. Allergies, children. Yeah. So, I don't have, well, I have show notes this week because last week, so I don't have any admin or any of the two subsections of admin I usually do. It's just not a lot to cover there. And then finished objects. We're going to start with my monthly make for me object, and this is the Orion beanie by Kalisha Ryan. So I made the small, and I went down a hook size. And I think I was using, I think that this is kind of a thick worsted or an Aran weight. But the brim is still too big for my head. So I don't know if that's I have a really small head or what. Okay, here. Let's see. This is approximately where I wear it, or where I would like to wear it. 22 and a half. Made this small and went down a hook size. Well, anyway, so let me find the back of it. It is intended to be a slouchy hat for the holding of hair. It is also an open work, and I haven't blocked it yet. Mostly because I'm not entirely sure how to block the lace so it opens up more, and then the band smaller. Because it is really loose, and I don't own bobby pins or anything, so I can't zhuzh it, you know? Real quick, I need to plug my phone in before it dies. Okay, phone is plugged in. So I do like hats like this, but I also feel like they look kind of funky on me when I don't have bangs. It could also just be that my roots are my natural color rather than my color, so I just don't like my natural color, and I don't like the hat covers my unnatural color. I don't know. Either way, this is the hat. So yeah, it hasn't been blocked yet. I don't know how to block it. According to the burn test, this is a protein fiber. I'm going to go with it, the wool. And there's that. Then I'm gonna go slightly out of order because 2 of the objects I have that are finished, technically 3, are a little bit difficult to show just because they're long, and the other ones are nice and small. So I have some Hexie Puffs. I've got 3 out of this yarn I used for Jared's socks, and then 3 from this really pretty stripy, speckledy sock one. I feel like it's also technically a light fingering, if I remember correctly when I did the wraps per inch. and it is mostly wool. This one's obviously a blend, but I can't tell you what blend because burn testing just kind of tells me the general idea. The blue one, I have enough for a half puff. The purple, I should have enough for at least one more and a half, but maybe two more. We'll see. The purple one, these ones are ever so slightly smaller than the blue ones, and then also this one, which I made from the leftovers from the Wolf Bayou top I made, but like they're not smaller enough to really worry me. That, and according to the gauge measurements, they're the same. So, oh my god, did I tell you that I'm having allergies? Alright, and then I have two buntings in here. This one, the smaller one that's a lot lighter colored, I made one that was the exact same and gave that to my girlfriend already to decorate her desk in her dorm. So we'll start with that. So it's just a granny triangle in a pastel baby yarn, and then some white worsted to string it all together, pattern notes on my Ravelry, you know the deal. And then this one is, this one has 8 5-inch triangles, and so does the one my girlfriend has. And then this one has 15 5-inch triangles with much wider gaps between each one. See that? That is 2.5 inches between each, I believe. And then this, there's a knot in it, but this is supposed to be like 9.5, I believe. No, not 9.5, 7.5 inches. And so this one is for me. I did tag it with the Pisces season because I do think that these colors are really nice for Pisces season. So that's for my porch when we stop having weather. I do still need to weave in the ends on the back of the triangles on this one. But this one and the one my girlfriend has already have their ends woven in. Then we move on to works in progress. And we've got the T-tube toter, which don't really remember what this was at last time I showed you, but now the strap is on it, and all I need to do is choose a button. So I have all of the different button options on my Ravelry. I will probably be making a post, oh my goodness gracious, we'll probably be making a post on my Instagram about which button. I'm going to die from my allergies. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go heat up the kettle to neti pot myself because oh my god. So I'll probably make an Instagram post about which button, just because I am really indecisive. I've got a wood one, and it's the smallest one, and it has like a pretty mandala carving on it. I have a shell button. I have, and the other 3 are plastic, but each one has like a kind of different look to it. So yeah, this guy is literally just like, I need to sew on a button, and then it'll be done. Then things I have actually started are, so I have, this is the very last, this is the end of all of the fucking baby yarn colored stuff I have. And I'm just gonna make something for my cats because they are my babies. So I don't know if I probably am going to have enough yarn to do this. But I want to make triangles, granny triangles like this, and then turn them into a hexagon. So I'm going to make, goodness, 3 out of the baby yarn of this size, and then 3 out of the white yarn I have in this size. And then I'm going to sew them all together, and then I'm going to do some sort of border on them to make them very hexagon-y. So that's the one finished one I have This is the one that I was working on while I was doing various things earlier today. And I just have it in a bucket. So this is the ball of yarn that I'm currently working from for the baby yarn. And then this is, sorry, I was collaging earlier. This is the rest of it. And then I have most of this skein and all of this skein to work from. So that should be perfectly fine. That should turn into a very nice Lee-sized blanket for the cats. I don't know. I feel like this is going way too quick. I feel like I literally filmed this like episode 4 yesterday, and I feel really bad because like nothing interesting is happening. Then things I was working on. So the Hexie Puffs, as I said, enough for a blue half puff and then at least one more purple puff, and then the needles and the crochet hook because you use a crochet cast off for it. And then I have worked on these, but I have also torn them back 8 or so times. And these are the Pisces season sock practice socks. So I have 2s and I have 3s in here just because I haven't quite figured out what gauge I want to use yet. And I believe I showed you the colors last week. That is the green being the toe and then the purple being the cuff. The color way, I have, you know, equal size balls for each one. This, I believe I have like a total of like 81 grams of all of this yarn. So they're probably gonna wind up being shorty socks. Not the end of the world. I'm not mad about it. Honestly, these socks are me practicing different sock techniques. I'm using a rounded toe pattern and then the fish lips kiss heel pattern. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just every time I start them there's something wrong about them, and I don't know if that's because I'm also trying a new goodness gracious, I don't know if that's because I'm also trying new cast on methods. So like these ones I'm trying to use the Turkish cast on, which is very, very easy and very, very quick. Or if it's just that like I'm not reading the pattern correctly or that I'm trying to do things and getting distracted. I don't really know, but there's that. And then this upcoming week, the 2nd through the 8th, is the last week I have before the rest of my Pisces season birthdays happen. Which means that I have to make everything and mail everything this week. And my goth best friend, whose birthday happens to be the 11th, called me earlier this week saying she's getting married in a month. Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, this is plans, if you couldn't tell. So I have to figure out what I'm going to make everyone for birthdays. Then she called me to tell me about her and my short best friend's decision to get married. They said next month, and it was earlier this week when it was still February. So I don't know if they meant March, if they meant April. But, and she had only made the decision, they had only made the decision like 3 days prior, so I understand, I get it. But the call was mainly to tell me that Dad wasn't allowed to wear his grungy bald cap to the event, and so I had to make him a hat. So now I have to figure out, oh, and if you can tell from it not being in the FO or the whip, I frogged Dad's gloves because they just were not working. I noticed that I had dropped a stitch somewhere, and instead of like tracing it back and picking it up, I apparently just decided to make a new one because my stitch counts were still fine, but there was a drop stitch. So I might go back to that cable pattern and just like copy it into a Word document and then copy like her, what's the opposite of abbreviated? Her longhand, and just like piece it all together so it reads everything as longhand. Because like having to scroll back and forth because of the way she did it, it was making me sick, and then the colors and whatever. So now, on top of having to figure out what I make my dad for his birthday, which was at the beginning of February, yeah, I also have to make him something for my best friend's wedding, and then I have to make my best friend and my goth best friend and my short best friend things for their wedding, because who the hell would I be if I didn't make them wedding items? But what the hell do I make them for their wedding? Who even knows? Yeah. And then my niece, I still really want to try and make her something with this. So I need to go onto Ravelry and hunt down some patterns. Wow, the neighborhood kids are really getting into that. And then goth best friend. I wrote down question mark wedding question mark. I'm not going to make her wedding item, her wedding knit, be her birthday gift if I can help it. And then my mom, I have like a big gaping blank spot. The original idea was her birthday gift would be matching gloves to the cowl I made her, but I tested a whole bunch of different things trying to make it, and I just didn't like the way it looked. So I have to go and figure that out. And then my little brother, I don't have to worry about, because the cacophony cowl, the Mobius cacophony cowl with the blue and white and yellow novelty art yarn, that's his birthday gift. It took me way too long to make his blanket, so he gets a really easy something that I took half an hour to make for his birthday. Period, end of story. And then I have to figure out something for my grandmother as well. Yeah, and I got paid, and so had the money to buy the needles and pattern for the water bearer shrink cardigan. So now I have that, and the needles are on the way, and I have the yarn, and I really, really want to get that done during Pisces season, but also because it is blah, 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 blah. During the Pisces season make along, because Pisces season colors. The other two mals that I wanted to try and enter it into, the Year of Classics and Mission Impossible, are year-long make-alongs. Whoosh. Totally brain dead. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. So I have a lot on my plate right now, and I am, like, a lot that I need to do that has deadlines, and I'm just, fussing around with granny triangles and hexie puffs, because oh my goodness gracious, I don't even know where to start. Like, I really, really don't know where to start. Probably the best place would be just, like, in order of birthdays. So my dad, my goth best friend, my niece, and then my mom, my little brother, and then my grandmother, and then go back to my dad's hat for my goth best friend's wedding, and then goth best friend's thing for the wedding, and short best friend's thing for the wedding. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and my hat is falling off because it's too big, and I don't own bobby pins. So thank you for coming along. Thank you for listening to the rambling. I appreciate you a whole heckin' lot. See you next time. Bye bye.